Hey everybody, it's good to be back. You guys noticed I was gone for 2 weeks. Anyone? Okay. Well, I was in Spain for 2 weeks, and I want to tell you guys, a little bit about Spain, okay? So the first thing you should know about Spain is in Barcelona, Spain, there's a beach, and at the beach, the women, they don't wear their tops, you know? Yeah, and I was kind of wondering about, what's the law regarding that, because I know what the law is here. In America, if you go to the beach and you take off your clothes, the police shoot you. Okay, that's what they do. But Spain's different, and in Spain, the women, they just take off their tops. But there's another legal gray area that made me really uncomfortable, okay? And there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to jump right into it. There was a gal at the beach, and she looked to be about 18, 19 years old, 17, I don't know. I don't fucking know how old she was, okay? But she, just like all the other gals, she took off her top. And when she did, I immediately, covered my eyes like this. That's my instinct was just to cover my eyes, because I'm not a pervert, okay? Now you might ask the question, you might say, Stu, do you mean to tell me that the whole time you were at the beach, you were just covering your eyes like this, and at no point did you, put your hand down, open your eyes, and perhaps catch a glimpse of this individual? And if you were to ask me that question, my response would be, are you aware that there was a huge flood in Texas and lots of people died? Why are you asking me about this when there was such a tragedy in Texas? You are desecrating the memories of the people who died in Texas by asking me about some story about a nude beach in Barcelona. By the way, this story was made up by Barack Obama. Barack Obama made up that story to make me look bad. So stop asking about it. Move on, bitch. That's what I'd say if anyone asked me that question. Donald Trump's a pedophile. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. So anyway, after Barcelona, I went to Madrid. And in Madrid, the women wear all their clothes, okay? And in Madrid, I went to this very beautiful park. There was a beautiful park there. And there was a pond in the middle of it. And in the pond, I saw a black swan. Have you ever seen a black swan before, anyone? Yeah, I'd never seen one either. And so I went up to the black swan. I didn't feed it or touch it, you shouldn't do that. But I did talk to the black swan. So I went up to the black swan and I said, "Damn, girl, that ass is fat." That's how you talk to a black swan. Don't say that to a white swan, though, because it won't go over well. But anyway, so, I started to get homesick after a little while, because, 2 weeks, that's a long time to be away from home. Yeah, I was feeling homesick, feeling kind of down in the dumps, and I went to a park and just sat down on a bench by myself looking sad, and these two ladies came up to me and talked to me. In Spanish, I couldn't understand them, but then they said, "English?" I said, "Yes, English." So then they started talking to me in English. And, kind of broken English, but I could still understand what they were saying, because they were talking to me about Jesus, okay? And, so they gave me the typical 5-minute pitch, they told me I had to, give my heart to Jesus, or else I was going to be thrown into a lake of fire and brimstone with all the Catholics, Jews, and Democrats and whatnot. So, after they told me where I was going to go after I died, I started to feel better, I felt less homesick, because nothing reminds me more of America than, people shoving their religion down my throat despite my obvious indifference. So I said, "Thanks, ladies, I feel better." Now all I need is for someone to shoot up this place and I'll feel right at home. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm Stewart Pidfellow, but hey, Saturday night, Emilio's having a show here. I'm going to be in that show, so I hope to see all of you here Saturday night. Goodbye, everyone.